Last time on Crown of Leaves. Rui has to gather 3 items to heal his human counterpart slash friend. All he needs now is a Grigi, which he has to acquire from a Mystic's show assistant. Rui agrees to marry the Saurai in the lake, a Applejack looking horse fish thing, to this guy who is rich and stupid. To appease this rich man, Rui agrees to leave offerings and a song at the rich man's mother's grave. And through the services of Anush, the marriage registrar, has married the Saurai, who is now turned to a bipedal form, is now off to get her friend and get her powers back, with the groom being able to control electric worms. Now Rui is about to go see the Mystic and see what the show is all about. Tune in now on Crown of Leaves.
Our meeting yesterday went off with such warmth and friendliness that I still recall it with a smile on my face. Manemi, how's your grandson? Has his coughing stopped?
Yes, Charomare's tail. Ben.
2 spoons before bedtime.
Just as you said.
And you, Charo Tomash, I bet your back pains are gone.
They sure are, Charomare's tail. Ben.
As I always say, incurable diseases don't exist. Before we start, I'm going to say a few words about the fan shop. It's open from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. today. All the enamel pins have already been taken, but there's still lots of mugs and t-shirts left. My assistant beyond compare, Ingrid from the Stillwater camp, is waiting for you behind the counter. Now, are you ready? It's showtime!
Ha! How can you listen to him? How can you trust a mystic more than common sense? Spirits don't exist.
Listen! Listen to him well, my friends, and memorize his words. What's your name, Charo?
Rui.
Let's welcome Rui, Brila's nephew, friends. Would you come on the stage, Rui?
Fat chance. I'm not gonna take part in your idiotic show. I've got to go home, actually.
You won't deny yourself the pleasure of challenging and refuting me, will you?
The last thing I want to do now is argue with the charlatan wearing a sophist costume. Hey!
Rui just called me a charlatan but refused to participate in a verbal duel. Fine, where were we?
Charomare's tail. Rui's insulted not just you, but also all of us.
Yes, he dares think we're dumb goobers. Teach him a lesson.
Rui, I value the diversity of views more than anything in the world. It's a great pity you aren't capable of standing up for your own.
Oh, I am. You're merely a stage magician and pseudo-wise man building a cult of himself. All these smoke machines and plinking away on the piano, this is all about playing people off.
You're making very personal remarks. That's not an argument. Why don't you articulate what precisely it is that you're accusing me of, for starters?
You tap people for money, telling them tales about spirits.
You're making it sound like storytellers should work for free. The root of my work lies elsewhere. I rescue people from misfortunes they're defenseless against, and my services don't cost a dane.
Then what enriches mystics? Chanting? Weaving talismans?
Donations. You left your native land and set off all the way across the continent to stuff your head with university wisdom. New knowledge can drive away your belief in spirits, but it can't drive the spirits themselves away from this world. Sorry, but you're the most ordinary highbrow. Don't look at me like that. I know everything about you.
No, not everything. For instance, I used to issue a newspaper where I exposed the ravings of frauds like you for what they were. I've traveled around the flat enough to assert that samurai exist, but there are no spirits even there.
Let me tell you a story.
I'll refrain from pointing out that a samurai replied to you immediately after he said he wasn't allowed to.
A samurai broke a law to forewarn me of another samurai who had violated a law as well.
So what's the point of this story?
Samurai don't appear in our presence, but from childhood we're familiar with pictures of Swaloken on lunch plates and embroideries of Lasius on towels. We can't see spirits either. Nevertheless, we're aware of the way they look. Firefoxes, the white serpent Dambali, the mole jailer, were surrounded by images of spirits.
Are you trying to say that if someone happened to see a boot that was shaking and squeaking, it must have been caused by a spirit and was nowhere near a flight of fancy?
I'm trying to say that the Madrook exists and he causes harm to mortals. At first his pranks were harmless. Torn sheets and damaged stuffed fish do upset, but they're not the end of the world. Now he plants veglams, which makes harvest die and destroys fields. Next thing you know, a cattle plague has begun because of him. And then eventually, the flat's tearing apart, and that's serious. If the rook doesn't get banished, people will start dying! The Madrook's become a frequent visitor to the hill camp recently. This suggests the idea to me that a summoner is hiding somewhere. A summoner, of course! And what did you expect? That he had a week off every year? My intuitions brought me here, and I swear the summoner's hiding among you. Look closely at your neighbor. Do they have an odd item such as a ritual knife made from male take-our horn? A pack of triangular cards? An unusual piece of jewelry made from magic materials?
Rui's making a bracelet from Mir Oak.
Yeah, and Mir Oak's a magic tree from what I hear. But why would Rui make a bracelet from a magic tree?
Rui, why are you making a bracelet from a magic tree, huh?
I'm making it for a customer.
What customer?
For the Black Baron! For the Black Baron.
And why would the Black Baron need a Mir Oak bracelet?
He's ordered it for his fiancée, from a unique sketch.
I know the Red Baroness, glory to her horns and kisses to her hands, but I've never heard of the Black Baron.
Come to think of it, I hadn't thought of that either.
I wondered about that, though, and it seemed strange to me back then, too.
He's the Red Baroness's brother. He told me so himself.
He told him so himself.
The Red Baroness doesn't have a brother. No, she doesn't have a brother.
It's shameful to be ignorant of Marvari's lineage.
Run away from here.
What?
I said get lost before they give you a thrashing.
Well, that's it for Chapter 2, everyone. I'm gonna go back to Chapter 1 and play the DLC and explain why we even see the candy Applejack horse. So, Look forward to that if you want to see why. In the meantime, Stray is next, so look forward to that. Thank you for your patience, and whenever Chapter 3 comes out, I'll be on that, like, cat on hot roof or some other metaphor. Alright, have a good night, and thank you for watching, everyone.